The golden ratio is a mathematical ratio that's commonly found in nature, and when used in design also fosters a sense of natural balance and visual harmony. So the ratio is 1.618, 1 as in the square over here, and the 0.618 as you can see here is the slight extension of the square, which is the rectangle area here. So there are two ways to actually create this in Illustrator. I'm going to show you the first way, which if I were to move my artboard around, first step is to create a square, and then in the square itself you just divide it into half with a line. After you've done that, you connect the end of the line, which is the lower left hand corner, connect it to the top right hand corner of the square, and you will get a extension or a diagonal insertion between the two squares, the two rectangles. And from that end you can swing it down all the way clockwise direction until it hits the horizontal ground. So where it ends would be the base of that rectangle that will sit on top of the baseline over here, and that would be the 0.618. So this is the golden ratio's proportions. So I'm just going to slide this over, and eventually how it would look like is that once it hits the baseline, you just have to place and create another rectangle, and this will be your golden ratio. So that is the first way. Second way is to use Illustrator, knowing that we have these numbers to play around this. All we have to do is just to key in the numbers, and then we can create this square and the rectangle. So I'm just going to start off by creating a artboard, a new document, going to print, select A4 and select the orientation, click OK, and this will be your artboard. Second thing I'm going to do is to go to the preference for the Illustrator by hitting Control K or Command K if you're using a Mac. Go to the units, change the general into millimeters instead, and click OK, and you can start to create your square. So select the rectangle tool, click once onto the artboard, key in the number 100 millimeters by 100, and then I'm going to click OK, and that would form the base of your square. Now anything by default that is created onto the artboard will have a filled color in the center of the square. In this case, I'm just going to select the square, make sure that the fill area is on the top, and then I'm just going to remove the color, and this will just be an outline. Now the next thing we're going to do is to create that extension. So I'm just going to click once again onto the canvas, and then I'm going to key in 161.8, and I'm just going to click OK, and that would be that extension, and I'm just going to align it here, and this would be your square and this would be your rectangle. Just to make sure that it is correct, I'm just going to copy this and bring it over and scale it up to make sure that the proportions are exactly the same. So I have it here and extending out from here. Well, basically it is spot on. So I'm just going to delete that. From here we're going to create that so-called curve circle, or that line that goes, that curved line that goes across the square. So select the click and hold down the rectangle tool, select the ellipse tool, click once onto the canvas and key in 200 by 200, and then you will get a circle. Align this right at the bottom of the square where it intersects the rectangle. Make sure it snaps on. Make sure that your smart guides are turned on as well. Control U or Command U if you're using a Mac. So once it's snapped in there, I can use the white arrow, the direct selection tool, select one of the points of the anchor, hit delete, and select the other point, hit delete, and then you are left just with the curve. Right? Now I'm just going to create a circle within here as well, and we know the radius of the square is about 100, so I'm just going to key in 100 by 100. So it's going to be exactly that same dimension, and it's going to be residing inside here like that. I'm just going to change everything to black for now, so it'll be a lot more simpler to control later on. So this will be my golden ratio. I'm just going to select everything and group it by hitting Control G or Command G, or you can use Object and Group. right? So I'm just going to group all of this together, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm just going to Control C, Control V to copy and paste and rotate it 90 degrees and reduce the size and make sure that it fits exactly to the corner of the rectangle, and holding down the shift key, I'm just going to drag and fit it into this area, and you can start to see that the curve is forming. Right, I'm just going to hit Control Y to go into the preview mode, so you'll be much more accurate that way. So select the same rectangle that you've resized, Control C, Control V again, and rotate it clockwise and reduce the size, and then fit it into the corner. Make sure that you hold down the shift key and make sure it snaps into it, and you can start to see the form line that is connecting to each other. Okay, we will just repeat this a couple of times, and I'm just going to do this really quickly. Control C, Control V again, rotate it one more time, and I'm going to put it right there, and Control C, Control V. Just going to put it one more time here, and just one more for good measure. It's always in a clockwise direction. Holding down the shift key and it snaps into place. So I'm going to hit Control Y again, and this is basically your preview